track use only, but we're going to use it anyway. For performance on the door sills, I will do a little experiment with you. It runs on 2 cylinders and you actually... What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max, and today I'll be taking you for a drive in this Ford Fiesta ST, the new one, the new model, the mini hot hatch we always really look forward to because it is the best in class. So let's find out today if that's the case with this new one too. We're going to do a walk around. I'll show you around the car. We'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn and do a quick Autobahn blast as well. And well, I don't know if you know, but we started our own watch brand. This is called the Turismo, limited to 50 pieces. We've got a few left and it's sort of car inspired. So this is sort of a GT model, a bit classic. If you like it, check out ignitioncollection.com. Link is in the description. Well, let's take a look at the Fiesta. We've got a blue one today, performance blue, which is the proper color for this car, I think. And well, let's start with one of the drawbacks, or one of the sort of more negative points about this car. I don't think it looks sporty enough, aggressive enough. Yes, we've got a special ST grille with an ST logo in there, and this is ST as well, this part. More grille down there. But if you buy a regular Ford Fiesta with an ST line package, you also get some of those bumper inserts. So I don't know if it is special enough to look at. I mean, it looks cool, the Fiesta looks cool. Is it sporty enough? That's my sort of, I'm doubting. We've got 18-inch wheels optional with a very special design. Michelin Pilot Super Sports on there as well. And at the rear we've got another ST logo and twin exhaust pipe at the right side. Yeah, it's a cool little car, I think. Let's open the bonnet and take a look at the engine, because the previous one, the second generation Fiesta ST, had a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and this one has a little 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine. There it is. It is really tiny. Turbocharged, of course, and it even has cylinder deactivation, so when you don't need it, it runs on 2 cylinders and you actually hear that. So it's like a Fiat 500 Twin Air. If we take a look inside, we've got Ford performance on the door sills, and we've also got really cool Recaro seats. They look incredible. They're quite big. They're heavily bolstered. But for me, and I read about some other people who felt the same way, this is a bit too narrow. So I sort of feel the side bolsters on the lower part of the seat. But they are very supportive. They're comfortable enough. Yeah, they're great seats. I'd rather be a little bit uncomfortable and, you know, have very supportive seats than sliding around in them. Alrighty, what else? Well, we've got a very nice steering wheel with an ST logo as well. Very heavily cushioned, so it's very squishy, really nice, and it's also heated. So we've got a button right there. Heated steering wheel in a Fiesta, and we've got a little animation going on there. Very serious. We've also got the optional B&O Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is really good. I would recommend anyone considering buying one to get that sound system. And we've also got this fake carbon fiber trim, which I don't know. It's not as bad as some of them, but it's not really my thing. All right, let's take it for a drive. We've got a 6-speed manual gearbox as standard, of course, and well, let's just get right to it. We've got a button right there with driving modes to select. So this is normal mode. We can go to sport and track or race track, which is for track use only, but we're going to use it anyway. Naughty boys. And what it does is it sort of changes the steering feel, so it gets a bit heavier, the throttle input gets more aggressive, and it disengages traction control. It also loosens up the ESP system. So you get a little bit more sound as well, as you can hear, because it has a valve in the exhaust which opens, and there's also sound coming through the speakers. But it's not a bad sound actually, because you know it's a very good stereo system, so the sound, the engine sound, is also pretty nice. This car also has the optional performance pack, which means we get a Quave limited slip diff, launch control, and a little shift light. Alright, I will do a little experiment with you. Okay, I'm going to hit the rev limiter, and you have to see if you can find the shift light. Alright. I'm curious to know if you saw it. Let us know in the comments. Chassis wise, this ST is 14% stiffer than a regular Fiesta. It has been reinforced at the bottom, and there have been, and a couple of strut braces have been added. It also has anti-roll bars that are much stiffer than before. It has a very quick steering rack, so it's 2 turns from lock to lock, which is really quick, and that means that it's very chuckable. It has a very rigid front axle. It is very darty. Of course, that 3-cylinder engine is a lot lighter than the previous one, so that front end is super quick to turn in. And if you lift off mid-corner, you get some nice oversteer to play with, which is quintessential Fiesta ST. If it wouldn't do that, it wouldn't be a Fiesta ST. It's very easy to get the rear sliding out. It's very easy to get the inner rear wheel to lift up. It's just such a fun little car. I mean, chassis wise, handling wise, this is the benchmark once again. And engine wise, I mean, you wouldn't expect it, but this 3-cylinder feels super punchy, and it even feels powerful enough to have a nice blast down the Autobahn. Limited slip diff pulling me inside there. Lovely as always. There we go. It has 200 horsepower, same as before. 290 Newton meters of torque, which means 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.4 seconds, and a top speed of 232 kilometers an hour, which it will do if you have enough space. But the most impressive thing about this engine is that it feels punchy, it feels fast throughout the rev range, so it never really feels like it's out of breath, which is really impressive for a 1.5 liter 3-cylinder engine, which, you know, I really wasn't expecting that. So that's 231, 32, that's the official top speed. It will actually go on to do 237 kilometers an hour. But here as well, you know, sure, you know, it's a small car, it's a stiff car, so it's a bit jiggly, but it's not too bad. And that's also because they have done some really clever stuff with the suspension. It has very smart dampers, which have 2 valves or 2 chambers, and sort of act as adaptive suspension without being adaptive. So it can soak up the bumps, it can really be comfortable enough for daily driving, but still be stiff and hard enough to have a blast and lift up the inner rear wheel. The springs are also really clever. They are actually bent into place, so at an angle, which means that the lateral force on the wheel is much higher than usual. and it sort of pushes the wheel to the outside, and also of course soaks up bumps. So that means that you have a much more stable rear end and a much more stiff rear end as well. This is seriously impressive. I mean, I really wasn't expecting that. I was expecting that we would do this POV review just on a nice road and not include the Autobahn, because it would have been, you know, I was expecting it to be just a little bit out of breath at higher speeds. But this is impressive. So that's the top speed. It won't go any faster than that. I'll demonstrate to you how impressive this little engine really is. So we'll do a 6th gear pull from, well, right about here, 110, full throttle. So it has to sort of spool up, and then it really starts to go. And it picks up speed really, really well. Once more from 145. I mean, this is a strong little engine, and it suits the character of the car really well, because it's a bit naughty. It rumbles. It has that irregular sound you get from an uneven number of cylinders, and it really fits that playful, chuckable character of the Fiesta ST well. And my complaint about the outside might just be a blessing in disguise, because it could be that Ford is leaving some space there, some room for Fiesta RS to be even more aggressive, maybe with the engine from the new Focus ST that is coming. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but for now this is by far the best little mini hot hatch you can buy. The only thing that comes even close to this is the Peugeot 208 GTI by Peugeot Sport, which is also very, you know, aggressive, firm, tightened up, but not as playful as this Fiesta. I don't know how the engineers at Ford always get this done, how they incorporate that character in every Fiesta ST until this one. I mean, this is the 3rd generation. They've all been this playful, and I think it's really impressive that they have been able to capture that and maybe even reinforce that feeling of playfulness with that 3-cylinder engine, which just rumbles away and gives it an even more cool and cute character. Okay, well, that's it for this POV review. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think about the new Fiesta ST. You can subscribe by clicking the big button. Don't forget to click the bell to turn on notifications. You can also check out this POV review of a Focus RS, and you can also check out this POV reviews playlist. We've made a lot of these, so if you enjoyed it, check it out. And you can also follow us on social media. Just search for AutoTopNL. Thanks guys, see you at the next one. Bye.